Okay, so today we're going deep into the Side Hustle.
Ooh.
It's a pretty fascinating place online. I mean, just teeming with ideas for anyone who wants to make a little extra cash or a lot on the side. And there are over 148,000 members on this subreddit.
Wow.
I mean, that's a lot of people thinking about side
It
hustles.
is.
And right now, as we speak, there are about 30 people online
Oh, okay.
talking about their side hustles and sharing their experiences.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so we wanted to dive into some of the most interesting posts that you sent to us,
Right.
and just kind of see what kind of practical side hustles are people actually doing right now.
Yeah.
Like not the theory, but like what's actually happening out there.
I think what's particularly fascinating about this collection is that it really is unfiltered.
Right.
It's everyday people experimenting, sharing their successes and their setbacks.
Right.
So it provides a genuine snapshot of the current opportunities and challenges, and even hints at, what actually works.
Yeah, and the first post that really caught my eye was this one about clipping streamers.
Oh, yeah.
The title was like, "How I Made $2,838 in the Last 38 Days, Clipping Streamers Legally with No Copyright with These 5 Simple Steps."
Right?
I mean, that's a mouthful.
It is. But, it's kitschy, right?
Yeah, it's definitely attention-grabbing.
Yeah.
And for people who might not be familiar with what clipping streamers is, it's basically taking these short, engaging snippets from live streams and turning those into content.
Okay.
But the really interesting thing was the update.
Oh, right, the update, yeah.
So the original poster talked about this update with Drake.
Drake, the musician.
Yeah, Drake the musician.
Yeah.
Apparently, he started this WAP group, which was basically a platform where he was paying people to clip his content.
Wow.
Pretty interesting, huh?
Yeah.
And it referenced an older post, which you actually highlighted for me,
Right.
where Drake was paying clippers 0.25 cents per 1,000 views to use his music in these clips.
So like a quarter of a cent?
Yeah, quarter of 10
Yeah.
per 1,000 views.
Correct.
Now, that might not sound like a lot
Yeah.
initially,
Yeah.
but the updated post claimed that some people were making over $2,000 a day doing this
Seriously?
with minimal followers.
Wow.
So that's a pretty significant amount of money.
Yeah. That's not bad for clipping someone else's content.
Yeah. It really makes you think about the potential, if you tap into a huge audience.
Right, an existing audience.
Yeah, like Drake's.
Uh-huh.
And, you've got this constant stream of content coming from these live streams.
Yeah.
What do you think about that kind of earning potential?
Well, I think what it illustrates is a real change in how creators and audiences interact.
Okay.
We're seeing a shift towards sort of decentralized content curation and incentivizing it.
Right.
So individuals with an eye for compelling moments,
Uh-huh.
they can monetize that skill.
Right.
And the fact that the poster emphasized it being legally with no copyright
Right.
suggests that there's a move towards a more formal arrangement, where creators are actually embracing and even rewarding fan-driven content distribution.
Interesting.
So I thought it was interesting that the poster commented that this is just the start of the trend.
Yeah.
And it makes me wonder, are we going to see more artists, more platforms adopt similar models,
Right.
essentially outsourcing viral moment creation to their engaged fans?
It's a really interesting concept, right?
Yeah, it is.
Because you're essentially getting paid to be a fan who has a good eye for what's engaging.
Exactly.
So let's shift gears a little bit and talk about something completely different.
Okay.
Another post that caught my attention was titled, "How I Made $20K in 45 Days with Casino Affiliate Marketing."
Okay, a little bit different.
Yeah.
Very different.
So we're talking about affiliate marketing here.
Yeah, so for people who might not be familiar,
Yeah.
affiliate marketing is basically promoting other companies' products or services.
Yeah.
And you earn a commission on any sales or signups that you generate. Okay.
Through your unique referral link.
So basically driving traffic to their site.
Exactly.
Okay.
And in this case, the user, You Gamble Ryan, was talking about the casino niche and how much money he made in a very short period of time. And he was really enthusiastic about it. He said, "In my opinion, there's no better affiliate offering out there where," and then he kind of trails off.
Right.
But that conviction, that really stood out to me.
Yeah.
Like he's speaking from experience.
Right.
So what do you think, what are some of the factors that might contribute to such high earnings in that specific area?
Well, for you to understand the potential here, you have to consider a couple of things.
Okay.
First, the online casino industry often has a high customer lifetime value,
Okay.
which basically means that once someone starts using a platform, They might continue using it for a long time.
Right.
This allows affiliate marketers to earn commissions over the long term
I see.
from just a single referral.
Okay.
So that's a big plus. Additionally, the commission rates in this industry
Right.
can be quite attractive compared to other sectors.
Interesting.
However, we should also note that this type of marketing operates in a very heavily regulated environment.
Right.
And there are definitely ethical considerations around promoting gambling.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's something to keep in mind.
Right. It's not just about the money.
Exactly.
You have to think about the context
Right.
and the potential impact.
Absolutely.
So let's move on to something that feels a bit more universally accessible.
Okay.
We came across a post about how I make $250 to $500 a month selling Canva templates. Stupidly simple.
Okay.
Now, this sounds like a much gentler entry point for a lot of people.
Definitely. I mean, it's interesting because the poster emphasizes the straightforward nature of it and
Right.
really understands a basic business need.
Mm-hmm.
They say most small businesses don't need fancy stuff.
Right.
They just want clean, professional-looking designs that are easy to edit. And I think that really speaks to a common pain point.
Yeah.
You know, for small businesses especially,
Yeah.
they don't have the time or resources to create complicated designs.
Yeah. They don't necessarily need them.
Exactly. They
Right.
just need something that looks good and is functional.
Yeah. And the examples they give are Instagram posts, templates, flyers, business cards.
Right. All essential stuff for small businesses.
Yeah. And things that people need on an ongoing basis.
Exactly.
So you're not just creating one thing and that's it.
Uh-huh.
You're creating something that people will come back for over and over again.
Yeah, it's a really clever way of leveraging a user-friendly platform like Canva
Right.
to create and sell practical digital assets.
Right.
So for someone who's, dipping their toes into the online income world, what makes this a good starting point?
I think it's the low barrier to entry, right?
Duh.
You don't have to be a graphic designer.
You don't need years of experience
Yeah.
if you have a knack for creating visually appealing and functional layouts within Canva, and you can identify the kind of templates that small businesses are looking for. There's a market for that.
Yeah.
The $250 to $500 a month might not be a fortune,
Right.
but it's a real income stream.
It is.
Derived from a pretty accessible skill set.
Yeah.
It's about solving a common need with a readily available tool.
Okay, so let's move on to something a little more analytical.
Okay.
We saw this user, Umani Breadfruit 9359, who scraped and analyzed over 5,000 job postings on Upwork from 500 plus categories to uncover potential sauce opportunities.
Okay, so we're talking about software as a service.
Yeah, so what kind of insights do you think you could gain from that kind of analysis?
I think what's so fascinating here is that it's a really proactive way to identify market gaps.
Right.
You're systematically analyzing this huge volume of job postings
Yeah.
to try and understand what services and skills are in high demand.
Across different industries.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
the idea is that if you see these recurring requests for specific tasks or expertise, that might indicate an unmet need that could be addressed by a software solution.
I see.
So for example, if they were seeing lots of requests for project management assistance in a specific niche, that might suggest an opportunity to create a project management tool specifically for that industry.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And the post mentions that he went on to develop an application
Oh, wow.
based on his analysis.
So they took the initiative to actually build something.
Yeah, he took it from the idea phase to the actual creation phase.
That's impressive.
And there was this interesting connection that he made to a now deleted Reddit thread about a hotel employee
Okay.
who had discovered a flaw in their system.
Right.
And I thought that was interesting because it shows that inspiration for a side hustle can come from anywhere.
Absolutely.
You know, it can come from large-scale data analysis like this.
Right.
Or just from observing inefficiencies in your everyday life.
Yeah, it's about cultivating an entrepreneurial mindset to recognize a problem
Right.
and envision a potential solution, regardless of where that problem comes from.
Okay, so speaking of solving problems that might arise in a typical work environment, there was another post about how my side hustle automating employee onboarding is now making $2K a month.
Okay.
Here's how I built it. And this was shared by Urakad and their product, AntBridge.
AntBridge. Okay.
So this is a significant jump in terms of reported monthly revenue
Yeah, $2,000 a month is not bad at all.
compared to the Canva templates.
Right.
So what do you think made this particular sauce solution successful?
I think what stands out is that it addresses a very common pain point in businesses of all sizes,
Right.
which is employee onboarding.
Yeah, that can be a real headache.
It can be a very manual, time-consuming, error-prone process.
Yeah, lots of paperwork,
Yes.
training materials. It's a
Yeah.
lot to manage.
So by creating a tool to automate aspects of onboarding, like the paperwork, training, introductory workflows,
Yeah.
they're essentially offering a solution that saves companies time and money. And this is a classic example of scratching your own itch,
Right.
because the problem likely came from their own experiences in the workplace.
Yeah.
And when you solve a real, tangible problem, effectively, people are willing to pay for it.
Right.
And the $2,000 per month in recurring revenue definitely indicates a demand for this type of automation.
Solving real problems that people are willing to pay for.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's move on to something a little more out there.
Okay.
Someone posted that I made Tinder, but for side hustlers.
Wait, what?
I know, it's a very interesting concept.
That is interesting.
I was immediately intrigued.
Yeah.
So what kind of need do you think something like that might be addressing?
Well, the post itself is pretty brief.
Right.
But you can imagine this platform trying to connect people with complementary skills.
Yeah.
Or people looking for collaborators.
Yeah.
Because building a side hustle can be a pretty lonely endeavor sometimes.
It can be, yeah.
And finding the right partners can be
Yeah.
the difference between success and failure.
Yeah.
So this Tinder for side hustlers is trying to streamline that process.
Right.
Maybe by matching people based on their skills, interests, or project ideas.
Interesting.
It taps into the social and networking aspects of entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Whether it actually works or not
Right.
remains to be seen, but it's an innovative approach
It is.
to addressing the need for collaboration within the side hustle community.
Yeah, so instead of just, grinding away on your own,
Right.
you can find other people who can help you.
Exactly.
And you can help them.
And maybe spark something new,
Yeah.
that you wouldn't have thought of on your own.
Okay, so let's go back to some more established online platforms.
Okay.
We saw a user talk about generating income thanks to an Etsy account idea for selling digital products.
Etsy. Okay.
Yeah, and this inspiration came directly from the subreddit
Oh, cool.
for Ulix Knows.
Okay.
So what makes Etsy such a good platform for side hustles?
Well, Etsy has really established itself as the marketplace, particularly for handmade, vintage, and digital goods.
Right.
So for someone looking to sell digital products like printable art templates, digital planners,
Right.
Etsy offers a built-in audience of buyers.
Right, people who are already looking for those things.
Exactly.
They're not having to convince people that they need it.
Right.
They're already there.
And in this case, Ulix Snows talked about their location near Kinderdijk in the Netherlands,
Okay.
which is a really popular tourist destination.
Right.
And they were seeing thousands of tourists every day.
Oh,
So
wow.
they had this local insight
Right.
that informed their digital product idea,
Yeah.
maybe offering printable travel guides, photography presets, or
Right.
other digital assets that cater to those tourists.
Yeah.
So it's a great example of leveraging local knowledge
Right.
and a platform with an existing customer base
Yeah.
to create a relevant and potentially profitable side hustle.
And it's also tapping into that, desire for tourists to have unique experiences and take home a little piece of that place with them.
Right.
Okay, so let's move on to something a bit more sophisticated.
Okay.
We saw a post about bootstrapping a lead exchange platform that scaled to 164 clients and 5K MMR in just 4 months.
Wow.
So that's some pretty rapid traction in the B2B space.
That is fast.
Yeah.
So tell me more about what a lead exchange platform is.
So essentially, it's a marketplace where businesses can buy and sell potential customer leads.
Okay.
So reaching $5,000 in monthly recurring revenue MMR with a client base of 164 in such a short time really indicates that they're doing something right,
It does.
that they have a strong value proposition, and that they're executing well.
Right.
But for you to understand this kind of side hustle,
Yeah.
it requires a deeper understanding of B2B sales and marketing,
Okay.
as well as the technical infrastructure to build and maintain the platform.
Right. It's not just about connecting people.
Yeah.
There's a lot of technical stuff going on in the background.
Right. You have to make sure that the leads are high quality and relevant.
Uh-huh.
You have to establish trust between buyers and sellers.
Right.
And you have to have a clear pricing and revenue model.
Okay.
So there are a lot of moving parts.
Yeah.
But the rapid growth really suggests that they've addressed a need in a specific market.
Right. They found a gap and they filled it.
Okay, so shifting gears back to content creation.
Okay.
We're seeing the impact of AI everywhere these days.
Everywhere.
And one post talked about how I make videos without showing my face and make some money with AI tools.
Interesting.
Earning $200 to $300 a month so far.
Okay.
So how is AI lowering the barrier to entry for video content creation?
Well, AI tools are really making it easier for people to create videos, especially for those who might be camera shy or who just want to streamline the production process.
Right.
So you can use AI-generated voices, leverage stock footage libraries, employ AI-powered editing software to assemble videos quickly.
Right.
And the fact that Unnecessary Poet 6994 is already making $200 to $300 a month using this approach. This really demonstrates the accessibility and potential of these technologies.
Yeah, it's opening up opportunities for people who maybe wouldn't have felt comfortable in front of a camera.
Right.
But now they can create video content without having to show their face.
Exactly.
Okay, so not every side hustle is an immediate success.
Yeah.
And one user very bravely shared their experience in a post titled, "I marketed on Reddit like an idiot." So you don't have to listen.
Oh, dear.
I think a lot of people can relate to that.
Yeah, we've all been there.
Yeah, especially when we're first starting out and trying to promote our work.
So what were some of their mistakes?
So they talked about some common pitfalls that people encounter when promoting their side hustle online, particularly on Reddit.
Okay.
And Reddit has a very strong community ethos.
It does.
And users are very wary of blatant self-promotion.
Yeah.
So just dropping links to your product or service without engaging with the community or providing value is often met with indifference or even negative reactions.
You'll get called out.
Yeah, you'll get downvoted and your post will get buried.
So what are some of the common mistakes?
So they mentioned not understanding the rules and culture of different subreddits.
Okay, so doing your research is important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Failing to participate genuinely in discussions.
Right. You can't just jump in and start promoting your stuff.
Yeah, you have to be part of the community.
Yeah.
And focusing solely on selling rather than building relationships and offering helpful content.
Okay, so it's about building trust first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the key takeaway here is that effective online promotion, especially on community-driven platforms, requires a more nuanced approach.
Okay.
It's about building trust, providing value before you ask for anything in return.
Makes sense.
Okay, so even something as simple as starting a newsletter can yield quick results.
Okay.
When done right, one user talked about launching a Substack newsletter less than a week ago and already making $160.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
So what do you think contributed to that rapid monetization?
Well, I think a couple of things. First, having a clear niche or a topic that resonates with a specific audience, that's crucial.
Yeah.
And second, the user mentioned that the content they're sharing is based on notes and experiences they've accumulated over time.
Okay.
So they're offering valuable insights or expertise that people are actually willing to pay for.
Even at that early stage.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
It is.
So leveraging your existing knowledge and passions can be a very effective way to start a newsletter and attract paying subscribers.
Okay, so it's about sharing your expertise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so now for a truly passive income idea.
Oh, I like passive income.
We saw a post about risk-free side hustle, passive internet bandwidth monetization, using a service called GetGrass.
GetGrass, okay.
Yeah. And the main draws seem to be its hands-off nature. It runs in the background. Auto updates and auto starts.
So you set it and forget it.
Pretty much, yeah.
So how does bandwidth monetization actually work?
So the basic idea is that these services allow you to share your unused internet bandwidth.
Okay.
And in return, you earn some form of compensation.
Okay.
Often in the form of cryptocurrency or credits that can be exchanged for value.
Okay.
And these services basically aggregate bandwidth from a lot of users.
Right.
And then they use it for various purposes.
Like what?
Like web scraping, data collection, network testing.
Okay.
Things like that.
Interesting.
Now, it's often presented as a risk-free and passive way to earn.
Right.
But it's always a good idea to do your research.
Yeah.
Understand how your bandwidth is being used.
Right.
Review their privacy policies.
Right.
And be aware that the earning potential is usually not very high.
Okay.
But the appeal is the minimal effort required.
Right. You set it up and you forget about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then there was this more intriguing concept called PDF farming.
PDF farming, what's that?
Yeah, and the description was you spend a few days setting up your first PDF farm using our proven templates for problems that 100K plus people are already searching for every month. You create 5-second viral faceless.
Okay, that's a lot to unpack.
Yeah, it's a very specific strategy.
So what can we deduce about this PDF farming approach?
So it seems to be a strategy centered around identifying common problems that lots of people are searching for online.
Right.
And then you create short, templated PDF documents that offer solutions to these problems.
Right.
And the mention of proven templates suggests a system or methodology for creating these PDFs efficiently.
So it's not just about creating random PDFs. It's about creating PDFs that address specific problems that people are already searching for.
And the 5-second viral faceless part probably refers to the marketing aspect.
Okay.
Maybe creating short, engaging videos to promote these PDFs on social media or something.
So it's about tapping into existing demand and offering a quick and easy solution in the form of a PDF download.
So it's a very targeted approach to digital product creation.
Okay, I kind of get it now.
Okay, so we also saw how AI is being used to enhance existing side hustles.
Oh, really?
One post talked about using AI to boost sales when flipping secondhand clothes on Vinted.
Oh, wow.
So how do you think AI can be applied in that context?
That's a clever use of AI.
It is.
So when you're selling clothes on Vinted, you can use AI in a number of ways to improve efficiency and potentially increase profits. For example, AI image recognition can help with automatically categorizing and tagging clothes, which saves you a lot of time. Natural language processing can be used to generate more compelling product descriptions, and AI can even analyze pricing trends to help you price your items competitively.
So you're using AI to work smarter, not harder.
Exactly.
Okay, so another user was looking for feedback on their AI short video generator, asking the community, should I launch this as SaaS?
Okay.
Again, highlighting this trend of AI-powered tools for content creation in business.
So what are some of the key considerations when deciding to launch an AI tool as SaaS?
So first of all, the core functionality and accuracy of the AI is crucial.
Right. It has to work well.
Yeah. And the user experience needs to be intuitive and easy to navigate.
Right. Even for people who aren't familiar with AI.
Yeah.
You don't want to scare them away.
And then the pricing model is really important. What's the value proposition for users and what kind of subscription tiers make sense?
Okay.
You also have to think about ongoing maintenance updates to the AI model, customer support.
All that stuff.
Yeah. And then understanding the competition.
Right.
And identifying a unique selling proposition for your AI tool.
Okay, so it's a complex decision.
It is.
Involving both the technical aspects and the business strategy.
Right.
Okay.
We also saw a discussion about AI in lead generation. What's the most cost-effective option? And the user was talking about their positive experience with Success AI as a more affordable alternative to platforms like Apollo and ZoomInfo.
Interesting.
So what does the emergence of these more affordable AI tools mean for smaller businesses and individual entrepreneurs?
I think it's a real game changer.
Yeah.
Because traditionally, accessing accurate lead data required a significant investment in expensive platforms, which could be a real barrier for people just starting out.
Absolutely.
But these newer, more affordable AI alternatives are democratizing access to lead generation, allowing entrepreneurs to find and connect with potential customers without breaking the bank.
Makes sense.
So it really levels the playing field and enables smaller ventures to compete more effectively.
Okay, so finally, a more niche and relatable problem-solving approach.
Okay.
Someone built a website called whichmoviewasit.com.
Whichmoviewasit.com?
Yeah.
Okay.
To help people remember movie names based on vague details.
I need that website.
I know, we've all been there, right?
So many times.
Like you remember a scene or an actor,
Mm-hmm.
but you can't for the life of you remember the title of the movie.
It's so frustrating.
So what makes a simple, problem-focused website like that potentially successful as a side hustle?
Well, it illustrates the power of addressing a common frustration with a really simple and effective solution.
Right.
It caters to that specific need, you know, when you just can't remember the name of that movie.
Right. And it provides a platform where users can input those vague details and get potential matches.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And success for a site like that can come from organic traffic.
Right. People searching for that problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it might not make millions.
Right.
But it can be a really useful resource for a specific audience. And it can be monetized through advertising or affiliate links.
Right.
So it's a testament to the idea that solving even seemingly small problems can lead to a viable side hustle.
I love that. It's inspiring.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the Roth side hustle community, It's incredible to see the sheer variety of ideas that people are pursuing.
It is.
From simple things like selling design templates or clipping online videos to more complex ventures like developing SaaS platforms and building lead exchange marketplaces.
And what's really cool is that these aren't just theoretical ideas. These are real people doing real things, experimenting and learning as they go.
And sharing their experiences.
Exactly.
Which is really valuable. It gives you a real unfiltered perspective on entrepreneurship and the different ways people are trying to generate income.
It's inspiring. And it makes you think, what could I do?
Exactly.
What problems could I solve?
So it begs the question, with all these different approaches, what challenges or unmet needs do you see in your own life or in the world around you that could be the foundation for your own side hustle?
That's a good question.
Yeah, and which of these unconventional ideas makes you think, could that actually work?
Right.
Could I actually do that?
I love that.
So definitely explore the Free the Side Hustle community further.
Yeah.
It's a great source of inspiration and practical insights.
It is.
For anyone considering venturing into the world of side income.
Absolutely.
So until our next deep dive, keep those entrepreneurial wheels turning.
Keep hustling.
Okay, see you next time.
Bye.